Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Dore, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and I have got Kevin Chandler in the house.
Hey Mel, hey everyone.
Uh, Kevin and I have two things in common. We both just got over COVID.
Yeah,
Last week, Kevin, I remember you sent me that message and you showed me the COVID test. And it
yeah.
was positive, and you said that was only after like 10 seconds. I thought, yeah, you got COVID.
Mhm.
But this was mild, you know. I mean, mine kind of knocked me on the skids for a while, but it was pretty mild, I think.
It wasn't too bad for me. The worst for me, I had the cold symptoms, like the congestion and a little bit of a cough. It was more of a head and sinus pressure, but was really bad for me as I had really bad body aches and sometimes like you have the body chills and I had that for like a day and a half, but after that it wasn't too bad. But it still kind of comes and goes. Like where I feel good. I've been working this week. I do feel a little tired now, but um, so it kind of just hits you off and on, I think, for a little bit. But I've been feeling better the last couple of days. It hasn't been so winding.
Kim Copeland had it too. I
Mm,
was supposed to do a Halloween show, dress up show. I was going to go as Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein.
yeah,
Only time I ever dressed in drag, right? Um, I just couldn't. I was like, oh, you know.
yeah.
So anyway, but another time. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, is here. Bonjour, Sherry, from
Hey, Sherry.
Cajun Country. Kevin and I were talking about cooking, Sherry, right before the show.
Yeah, trading recipes.
Connie B is here. Martha Davis from New Jersey. Froxy Roxy. Victoria Cleary. Cat Lady. Yay. She said it's raining in Nashville. Zach. Hi, Zach. Uh, let's see. Wendy Clark. She says she has a question. I don't see it, but so tonight we're doing political questions.
Yeah,
Uh, election, Gaza,
current events.
current events, Ukraine,
Yeah,
weather. Hey, congratulations on the win in Ohio. Uh,
yeah.
Charlene Dean is on. Uh, Cat Mama Meow. I love that name. She's here. Kay Muldoon, Patricia Franzino, Elaine Rabbit.
We got a good crew watching us.
We got
Almost
a good crew.
almost 300 already, so that's great.
Hey, Kevin, you starred some, I see, right?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay,
Yeah, do we want is there anything that you wanted to talk about, or do we want to talk about the elections on Tuesday, since I think that that's
well,
kind of
there's a lot here, I
there's
think.
a lot.
Manchin not seeking election. Wonder who's behind that, right?
Mm,
Republicans are struggling with passing the funding bill. Go figure.
yep,
McCarthy's on a rampage against those who ousted him. Ceasefire in Gaza. Uh, the Trump handling of security information. Eileen Cannon, I really want to touch on her.
yep.
DeSantis, he said if he's elected, he'd have a war with Mexico. Was he in his right mind? I mean, I think he lost his Prozac somewhere,
There's somewhere.
Um, all the Republican candidates said called for Netanyahu for Israel to finish Gaza.
Yeah,
Yet, they claim to be so pro-Jewish, but yet they're the first ones who are racist and anti-Semitic,
mm-hmm.
and so they do nothing about Putin, right? Uh,
Right. No, they don't want to fund Ukraine.
Correct. Well, the only reason that Putin worked with entertainment purposes only, that Putin worked was behind Iran with this whole Hamas thing, Hamas, that was well thought out. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it was well thought out and planned because he wanted to take people's eyes off of Ukraine
Yeah, absolutely. I said the same thing.
and make the Middle East destabilized, so it would make the Republicans look good because he wants them in office. It's an old KGB trick, but people are opening their eyes to it.
Yeah.
So they rip Israel, and well, they're pro-Israel in this, and I'm not anti-Israel, but yet on the flip side of that, they're anti-Semitic. So
Right. I think that they're pro war because they want to get us in war with Iran and our biggest trading partner Mexico, and Yeah, I didn't. I watched some clips of the debate, and it was unsettling.
Oh yeah, and then the actor strike, the budget. I just to everybody, let's take a moment to send healing energy to Regina Stock, Mrs. MRS America. She was diagnosed with kidney cancer.
No,
My take on it is they're going to get it out and she's going to be okay. But let's send some healing energy to her.
you got
Um,
it.
and hi to my friend Dominica. She is going to be running for Miss Illinois. And yay. No, was it Miss Illinois or Miss America? I forget. But anyway, so we're sending her all of our um, support. So anyway, that's the stuff we can talk about. Political
Yeah,
questions, world events, things like that.
yeah. We got. We should. I don't think we'll run out of stuff. There's so
I
much
don't
going
either.
on.
Quick infomercial. I got room on my Africa trip departing June 20th. Kenya, Tanzania safari. It's going to be amazing. And I still have openings on my Rhine River Tour leaving September 6th, Africa, June 20th. Call me at the number below. And if you want a really good reading or healing session, you've got to call Kevin Chandler
Thanks, Mel.
and go to his channel. Thumbs up, like, subscribe.
Yeah, I'm getting close to 10K. That's my goal. I hope I hit it before the end of the year.
Well,
So
when I get to 20, I'm going to have you help me plan a 20K party. How's that?
you got it, my friend.
All right. All right. Are we ready to get started here?
Yeah, got some
Okay.
questions started.
Wendy Clark says, is Lauren Boebert, Lauren Boebert, getting that she is out of her league after being skewered on the floor?
I didn't hear about her being skewered on the floor. What's going on with
I
that?
don't know, but I heard she really got it big time. I don't think Lauren Boebert or Boebert, we'll call her Boebert,
Boobert.
Boob, she is never going to get it that she's out of her league. You know, she's
Mhm.
all about babies, guns, Bible, and Jesus.
Well, she hasn't even really taken, accountability for the whole feeder incident that just happened like a month ago too. So, um, yeah, she's just not capable of doing that. But I always feel like she's one of the few that I don't think. I think she'll lose her reelection next year, but I see legal trouble for her too. I think with
So do
some
I.
things.
You and I have said that all along.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, she's living proof that certain animal species are smarter than humans. I didn't say what kind of animal species, but okay.
Yeah,
Sherry from the Sherry
she's
Voices from
clueless.
the Swamp said that she's been sick as a dog all week. I'm sorry,
No,
Sherry. Feel
very
better.
true.
Let's all send Sherry healing energy.
Yeah,
Um, but Lauren Boebert, Wendy, is going to be out of her league and out of office. So,
yeah, I agree.
all right. Oh, this is a good one. Elaine Rabbit, I like the name.
Hmm.
What is the impact of Manchin's announcement not to seek re-election? Well, I wrote here, geez, I wonder who's behind that.
Well, I think we've said for a while he's definitely eyeing like an independent run for president. I don't see that being successful. He wasn't going to win re-election. I think their West Virginia governor is running on the Republican side, and I think he's probably more than likely going to get out, unfortunately. But Manchin's really a Democrat in name only, as we know. So
He's
he's
a
a traitor to our party. So
dino, Democrat name only. But I agree that I think that obviously, well, not obviously, but intuitively, we both agree that a Republican will take the seat, but it's not going to change the Senate.
right,
I'm just glad Manchin is gone.
yeah, I agree. Good riddance.
Okay. Oh, I read about this briefly, but this is a good one. Oh, we got some spice. Victoria Cleary. Hi, Vicky.
yeah.
Victoria. Recently, the DOJ arrested the guys running that luxury brothel back east. And they're probably the ones that are against abortion, by the way. We will hear any customer names and will there be arrests? Oh, yeah. There's going to be arrests for running rings of prostitution, for tax evasion. And some of those some of those pay for hire people will come forward and name names.
Big name.
Absolutely. And there's going to be some Republicans in trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe some
I
Democrats.
hadn't heard about it too much. I was on Susan Lynn's channel last night, and somebody asked, and I was getting the number 3, and I think it was 3 people that's been arrested. But I do feel like there are some names, and it almost to me felt like it was like a planned hit to go after some of these. Like it was definitely planned, and it's a big list. So, but I see, it's going to be big news.
Well, if anything, it's going to expose like a lot of the names from the ultra right and some from the Democratic Party as well.
Yeah.
But I just wonder. I've got a funny feeling there may have been some gay entertainers come forward and implicate some people too.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. I mean, it's a huge. I get the feeling intuitively that it's a huge prostitution ring.
Oh yeah.
Personally, I think they should legalize prostitution, but it's legal in Amsterdam, by the way. I hope we don't get put in YouTube jail for talking about this, but
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I agree, though. It's going to be huge.
Huge. Okay. Camp Mama Meows do drop in. I love that name. She said, I got a call back from your staff today regarding Africa with you next year. Well, thank you. Yeah, they're pretty efficient about that. I'm not, but they are. So if you want to go, let us know. All right. And thank you for the interest. Okay. Here we go. Connie B. Hi, Connie. Will Jack Smith have more indictments soon? How about Alex Whiting? The Hague or the Hague, however you pronounce it, indictments, inquiring minds. Inquiring minds patiently waiting.
I've been saying for a while I feel more indictments coming sooner rather than later.
Which brings
I think before the end of the year.
Which brings me up to Eileen Loose Cannon. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that she's going to try to move the trial until after the election. And I just heard that there's some staff at Mar-a-Lago, like painters and other people, who heard Trump discussing secret or classified information about a war or bombing Iran or something. So they're going to come forward. If Loose Cannon tries to push this trial until after the election, my guides are telling me that she's going to be removed from this. She's going to be removed from the bench. I mean, we know who's behind it. Cheeto.
Absolutely. Well, I think there's been some kind of deal there. I've always said between the two of them, but yeah, I agree. I've always felt her leaving. I do think that she's going to try to push it, and I do think it's going to get delayed a little bit. Just what I'm picking up.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure it'll get delayed until after the election.
I don't know about after the election, but I think, are they shooting for May now?
I don't know.
March, I think.
But I'll tell you something, Jack Smith with Judge Chutkin, though, he's like a gazillion steps ahead of Loose Cannon. And I think, with Chutkin and that whole trial in Washington, D.C., he's putting a lot of eggs in that basket in case it doesn't work over here with Loose Cannon. But I see them getting proof that some way or another that somebody's going to come forward and say, and it's not hearsay, it'll be direct proof, that indeed some people who were in Trump's defense were meeting with her and kind of did some kind of deal or a promise.
So you see that coming out?
I do.
Public? Okay.
I absolutely do.
I have always felt her being taken off, and that definitely makes sense. But I kind of feel like, Jack Smith is giving her so many multiple opportunities to mess up so he can document it and then take it to the appeals court.
He is totally setting her up, and she's just too stupid to see it.
She's in over her head, too. I mean, she wasn't qualified to get the job to begin with.
I don't even know how she got to law school. I pulled the 3 of spades, which means for Jack Smith, phenomenal luck, and he's going to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Now let me pull one for loose cannon. Let's see. Ooh, I see the 6 of spades, which would be, it would denote theft. It will denote underhanded kinds of things going on. It means that she's going to have complete loss of her career and everything because of her underhandedness.
Well, good.
Okay.
I agree with that.
All right. I guess we answered that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there will be more indictments. And my guides are telling me this whole thing in New York, the civil case for fraud, that the state of New York is going to send that over for criminal prostitution, for criminal prosecution to the state of New York, and also over to the feds for bank fraud.
I've said the same thing, so we're on the same page there, Mel.
All right. We've already answered this one. Judith Juliet says, is a Democrat going to win Manchin's seat? I don't think so.
So.
Okay.
There's really no Democrats that are popular. I mean, and Joe Manchin's not really even a Democrat, so.
But it's not going to hurt the balance in the Senate at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Hilano says, is Putin still alive? Yes. I think he's very ill.
Yeah.
But he's still alive. I see.
I agree. But I do think, they were questioning about that cardiac incident. I feel like that was legit.
It was legit. But they just downplayed it.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's funny that I'm doing cards tonight for some reason, which I don't do normally. But I pulled the 10 of clubs. So the 10 of clubs would mean sickness and death, but he's not dead yet.
Yeah.
I do see heart damage. I'm just wondering, maybe they did some surgery, something that they kept quiet. That's what I think.
He's close. He's close to passing. I think it'll be sooner rather than later. Go ahead, Mel.
No, go ahead.
This is the 6 of swords, which is normally like moving on to calmer waters, but it's like he's walking into the light. We know he's not walking into the light.
Girlfriend, he didn't want to know light. That's
right. He's not going to know light. And then it's like a big turning point, I think, for Russia. So I think it's close, but I don't think he's passed yet.
I see him for 10. It could be 10 months. It could be 10 weeks.
I've always felt like, I think it actually might be like within the next month, because I feel like Russia isn't going to announce it right away. Might be like a month, 2 months after he passes when it finally, like the intel comes out on it. And I've always felt like come like March of next year is really that turning point for Ukraine. And it's in response to Putin passing.
Well, I think whoever replaces him, but that person won't be around long. And I can tell you, once Putin is gone, the people in Belarus are going to stand up against Lukashenko.
Mm-hmm.
And I see democratic government there. And, a lot of them don't want this war. And, the whole thing with Putin wanting Republicans in is because he thinks if he can do that, then he can weaken NATO and he can take over Eastern Europe. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. What do you think about when Putin does pass? I don't know if it's before or if it's after, but I always felt like that Wagner group kind of coming back to the surface in Russia. And I don't know if it's because it's a power play because Putin passes or right before he passes.
Oh, it'll be a huge power play.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever takes over after Putin won't last very long. But at some point, I see Navalny released, and I don't know if he'd be the president of Russia, but would be very instrumental in putting in a president.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going to be president, but I agree with you. I actually feel like in the next year or two, it's Russia's kind of working on turning things around.
And there's going to be companies here contracting in Ukraine to help rebuild it. So Ukraine will not stop fighting.
Yeah.
Putin got himself into Vietnam. Is what he got. And he's trying to fight a conventional warfare, and the Ukrainians are using guerrilla-style warfare. And you cannot win a conventional war when you're fighting a person that you've attacked who's using guerrilla warfare. You can't do it. It's this whole thing of slash and destroy, burn, destroy is not working. And that's what Netanyahu's trying to do in Gaza, but it won't work. I see Netanyahu gone, and I see him under indictment.
Yeah. Well, isn't he already? Is he already under indictment? I know he has criminal charges looming, but
I don't
I
know.
agree with you. I do see him out,
But
not like
Netanyahu
right
doesn't,
away, but not too far off.
Netanyahu doesn't want this war to end
Well,
because
right,
if he
right.
does, he knows he's going to have to face the music for the criminal charges.
I feel a lot of like protests against Netanyahu from the Israelis too.
I agree.
He's not going to be well liked after all of this,
And
and
what
he's
I
being
see,
blamed for it.
and what I see is I see two separate states, Palestine and Israel, two separate states living together in a peaceful coexistence.
I think it's going to take a couple years, but I see that too.
It will, but this whole thing about trying to divert attention and deceive from Ukraine by doing this thing with Hamas and
Hmm.
Iran and Putin. But in a way, Netanyahu's liking it too, because like I said, it's diverting attention away from the criminal
When he's coming in
charge.
strong, so it's like he's not going anywhere while there's a whole bunch of fighting, and
No,
he thinks he can get away with all the corruption, but
it's,
I don't see it
it's going to bite him in
long
the
term
butt.
for him.
All right, here we go. Dwight Dwight Lindgren. I was going to say London.
Hmm.
Why doesn't the rich Arab states help the Palestinians in a better country, giving the people an alternative to Hamas? I think behind the scenes they kind of want what's going on because many of them are anti-Israel.
Right.
But here again, they won't succeed. That's the
Yeah,
question.
and also too, I don't think that they're going to be building or rebuilding anything until after the fighting's over anyway. So, um, it's too unstable in there with Hamas.
Absolutely. But it's going to come out futuristically who was really orchestrating this whole Hamas thing.
Oh yeah, I agree, 100%.
Good question, Dwight. Okay, somebody says Jay Soto. Is Putin not on Earth? He's on Earth. He's still alive.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, here's a response. Barry Pickard says, high-end brothel bust in Boston. Politicians involved. Will names get released? Yes, yes, and yes.
I don't know if all the names get released, but I do feel there's some names released.
We've got a new member, Daryl Phillips. Hi, Daryl. Thank you.
Daryl.
And when I get to 20,000 subscribers, what I'm going to do is give away 3 free 1-hour sessions to my members, 3 free half-hour sessions to my subscribers, and 3 free Aloha shirts to my members. And my members, after the first of the year, are going to get a $25 discount on their sessions with me. So,
Very cool.
all right.
You're getting close.
Oh, yep. And Kevin, I want you to be on the show and help me orchestrate.
Yeah. And I'll have you on when I hit 10K. So we'll have a bunch of fun here soon.
Well, you're almost there.
Yeah, getting close.
I remember when you had 600. Okay. Pat Hansmeyer. Hi, Pat. Thanks to both. Will Argentina go right wing in their runoff election on November 19th? Argentina is never going to go back to what happened there in the 70s when all those young men and people got arrested and disappeared and all that. I think the world is going xenophobic, all of this xenophobia and blaming minorities, but I see that pendulum swinging back. I don't ever see Argentina ultra right. The answer is no. Yeah. Nor do I see it ultra left. I see it more in the middle.
It's interesting that you say that because it does feel like it is a shift a little bit more right wing, but I wasn't feeling like super extremism either. So I'm not really too familiar with Argentina politics to even know what their government's like now, but it does feel like it's it's a little bit of a swing to the right wing.
Somebody had asked about this crazy politician in Canada. I think she's in Alberta. Um, and she's like this ultra right, and she's, oh my God, she's like, uh, just picking away at like
Hmm.
rights and this and that, da 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 da. And it looks like she's like the Marjorie Taylor Greene to us. It looks like she's going to gain some impetus and a little bit of momentum, but she will not succeed. And
Mm,
to all you folks in Canada that are watching, don't lose your voices. Get out and vote,
yeah.
because the same thing can happen there that happened here. And that's what we don't want.
Mm. Sorry, I was looking at one of the comments that just came through. Do you mind if I put it up?
No, go ahead. It's your show.
Mercury Mercury Angel says, I heard that one of Putin's mistresses just used his name in past tense as well as dressed in black. It was on the news. I don't think he's gone just yet, but that's kind of interesting.
Maybe she's using his name in past tense because she doesn't expect him to be around long. But she
That
better
could
be
be.
careful of what she's saying, because we don't want her to fall out a first floor window.
I do think that there was some Ukrainian intelligence saying that the Russians were kind of going along with the Putin cardiac episode because they wanted to see, like, test the waters of like the population in Russia to see how they felt about it, how popular Putin was, and I do feel like that was legit.
Well, many of my Russian friends here in Chicago, we have a huge population
Hmm.
of former Soviet Union, Ukraine, from the Baltic republics, from Belarus, from Russia. But many of them have relatives in Russia, and many of the Russian people aren't really fond of Putin. They don't like
Right.
him. So
Yeah,
they're
I
going
think
to
they know that he's on
right.
death's doors, and they want to kind of see what the public thinks of it before it happens.
Okay. Ooh. Sharon Donnelly, this is a good question. Hi,
Hmm.
Sharon. Will anyone in Congress fall before the 2024 election?
Yes, yes. I've always felt Gates, or not Gates. Sorry, Santos. Gates will go down. I don't know if it's before the election, but Santos is always the first one to leave.
I see Santos extradited back to Brazil at some point to
Hmm.
face charges. But notice in this round, when voting for Speaker of the House, they let him vote. Had that been
Hmm.
a Democrat or independent, they would have gotten rid of them yesterday.
Right.
Um,
There's a there's I'm picking up like 5 or 6 people will fall before the election.
Santos, he's a disgrace of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah,
Uh, he's a sociopath.
yeah,
And, it's going to come out about where he received that dark money, and did he pay taxes on it, and da 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 da. And at some point, I see laws being passed where these politicians have got to make full disclosure. And if
yeah.
they don't, they're going to be held for criminal contempt or criminal charges.
I agree.
I see
We're
him
about
charged federally.
with the Senate. I don't know what committee it is bringing in, um, going to subpoena like Harlan Crow and that other billionaire that was buying, um,
Yeah.
favors for Supreme Court. And I see that turning into something huge and bigger than just the Supreme Court. And it's
Oh
going to
my.
be happening sooner than later.
Oh, you're right. It's going to be a
Hmm.
doo doo. Buckle
Yeah,
up. The other thing that I want to comment on is how the Republicans are talking about Hunter Biden, and he didn't do this on taxes or blah, blah, blah. But they don't say much about Trump, who didn't pay
right.
taxes, falsely inflated his property. And they don't say anything about George Santos, who got that dark money and didn't even report it.
They don't say anything about Trump's son-in-law Kushner getting $2 billion from the Saudis.
Oh, but that's all going to come out, my friend.
Right.
Okay. That was a good question, Sharon. Uh, here's Dwight again. Hi, Dwight. Will the public ever see proof that 45 sold secrets?
I don't think. I do feel like there's more stuff coming out about it, but um, and we've already kind of heard a little bit about like that Australian billionaire that was Trump told secrets to, but I don't think they're going to actually come out with the classified information. We're not going to know quite what it is. Um, it might be a little bit more vague. I don't think it's going to be super detailed, but I do feel more stuff coming out. Yes.
Yeah, they're not going to give away the secrets that he sold.
Yeah.
But I see something coming up, and I just wrote it down called Secrets for Favors.
Mm.
And so I don't know if he got money for it. Some did. And there's going to be two people that'll come forward and testify to that it's not hearsay. They were involved in it. But also, they're going to say that, it was like quid pro quo. You do
Mhm.
this for me, and I'll give you these secrets.
Quid pro quo is what I was going to say. That's the word that came to my mind.
Right. That means
So
you wash, I'll
Trump
wash.
didn't learn his lesson the first time.
That's exactly how I see it. That will come out, by the way.
Yep,
Trump,
I agree.
I saw Chris Christie talk, and I disagree with him politically.
Mm.
Republicans were smart; they would make him the candidate if they
Yeah,
were.
but they're not smart.
Well,
He was on Morning Joe, and he was an idiot arguing with Mika this morning. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Christie.
I'm not either. I'm not either. But he did once say one thing I tend to agree with, and my
Yeah.
light bulb went on. He says he sees Trump having 11 convictions. I don't know if it's 11; it might be 9,
Mhm.
but he is going to be convicted.
Yeah.
And if they try to appeal it, they're going to lose a lot of it on appeal.
I agree with that. I almost wonder though if he's going to be on the planet to actually serve any of the convictions.
Well,
Question.
that's another thing. He's got to watch his health. I mean, did you see him in court?
Uh-huh. I'm surprised he didn't have a hemorrhage on Monday.
Looks like he had Botox in reverse. That's his new name, but reverse Botox. Somebody asked a question here. Just let me get it. This is a really good one, actually. Crystal Wolf says, Ohio Republicans came out Tuesday after the results of our elections talking about how they were going to fight. Hold on a minute. Oops. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, they're saying that. Wait, I lost my place. Give me 1 second. Here we go. They're talking about the Ohio Republicans came after the results of our elections talking about how they were going to fight or say it's unlawful to put a ballot issue on next year to cancel or change the abortion amendment. How do you see this going? Well, I had said that when the people of Ohio voted to hang on to Roe v. Wade, that the Republicans there would have something else up their sleeves to try to overturn what the people voted on.
Yeah.
But it won't work.
They were actually calling upon it before the voting, and and the issue too, legalizing marijuana on the ballot that passed. They said that they're not going to enforce that either. I agree with you. They tried this whole scheme with changing the threshold to making constitutional amendments to 60% in August, thinking nobody would vote. That flopped. It was for the Roe v. Wade. So yeah, they're going to continue their stuff. I say let them do it because, let's not respect the will of the voters and see if they have jobs at 2024.
They won't.
Right.
And he says, "Will the Ohio constitutional amendment we just voted for be upheld or canceled?" I don't know. I don't know Ohio law. I don't know if they can cancel it. But it reminds me of the time, I forget the governor. He was a Republican governor, and he tried to ramrod something through, and I think they needed X amount of signatures on petitions to stop him, and they got like millions of names, and that put him in his place.
Yeah.
Kasich, I think it was.
Oh yeah, Kasich was our governor before DeWine.
So, right.
They're going to try. They'll try to stop it. I don't think they'll be successful with it.
I don't either. They just don't get it. Right?
Yeah. Linda G just stopped
Hey,
by.
Linda, thank you. Hi, girlfriend. Oh my goodness. Linda G's in the house, everybody. This is Linda's wife. Hi, Linda. She is so funny. She had me rolling on the floor the other night. We were texting back and forth, and I was just peeing my pants laughing. It was so funny. So, hi, Linda. Okay. Oh, Karen wants to know juicy stuff. Will there be any Dems involved in the brothel thing?
I do. It's more than just elected officials, but I do feel like there might be a Democrat or two involved in it.
And payoffs. They're going to prove that there were
Hmm.
payoffs for protection.
Yeah,
My light bulb just went on. Um, well, I guess when you're selling sex, it doesn't know any political party, does it?
that's true. It's true.
All right. Oh, well, you got some good questions tonight.
Yeah.
M. Turple says, is Sarah Huckabee Sanders embezzling money from the state? Matt Campbell has been investigating receipts beyond Lectern Gate that don't make any sense.
I don't know who Matt Campbell is, but I do feel like there was some embezzlement of money for entertainment purposes only.
Well, I'll answer a question with a question. When she was the press secretary for Trump with pearls, I call her Pearl, she clearly lied
Hmm.
without even showing any remorse about it. So, what makes everybody think that she would be honest about funding? Uh, uh,
She
and
supposedly went on a vacation with her friends
yeah,
um, with that money, and I believe that that's true. That resonates with me for
it
sure.
is true. What was it? She paid like 20 or 40,000 for a podium or something.
Like
Suppose
twenty
well, she
thousand.
said she paid that, but she
Mm-hmm.
used
Right. I
to.
saw there was a funny like Facebook um meme like photo thing of her in this ugly floral, I don't know,
Oh, I
um
saw that.
dress. And it was something like, "This is what happens when you don't have gay friends," or something like that to tell you that you look awful.
That's what Linda Grendel sent me. That's what had me rolling on the
That was
floor.
that what had you laughing. It was funny.
And I said, yeah, somebody needs to call a fashion police.
Yeah.
I was like, Linda sent it to me. I'm like, oh my God, that is so funny. That was the ugliest outfit I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean,
I
I can
agree.
get by with wearing funky aloha shirts, but I'm the first to say, hey, but man, she just didn't look good. She didn't have
No.
her pearls on either.
She had what? Didn't have pearls
I
on?
don't think she had her pearls on. Go figure. Mon Dieu.
Well, don't be such a hateful bigot, and maybe you'll get some fashion advice from your
Right?
gay friends.
Um, we should probably send her a drag queen consult. How would that go? Okay. Celtic Seer says, hi, Celtic Seer.
He
Will
tells
we have a major natural disaster that will make us all that will wake us all up and come together before Christmas? I don't see that.
Mm-mm.
But what I do see, and I hope I'm wrong, is that there's an act of terrorism from some radicalized
Yeah.
organization that will happen. Um, and Linda Grindle had said this too, and I agree with her.
Yeah.
That will happen, um, but that will pull us all together.
Mm.
It's not going to be to the extent of 911, but it's something big.
Yeah.
And as we speak, that's being planned. Um, and so I don't know exactly what it is, but Linda brought it up. And when she said it, my psychic light bulb went on.
Yeah.
So what are you picking up, Kevin?
I mean, I definitely kind of feel some energy around that too. I don't want to.
I don't want to give it energy.
Hopefully, right. Hopefully, any action like that is thwarted, um, or at least, very minimal. But I'm not picking up a major national disaster that's going to wake everybody up before Christmas. No.
I don't see that either. Okay. This is a good one. Oh, Dwight again. Hi, Dwight. we know Dwight already. By the way, Linda, thanks once again for the super sticker. I will donate that money to Rush Center, Head and Neck Cancer Center, to help fight oropharyngeal cancer.
Oh, nice.
Okay, Dwight, how many states will bar Trump from being on the ballot? Well, one, I see three.
No, actually, but the thing is maybe they go with it, but I feel like it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court doesn't, appeals that decision. I think they've already had one, I think, in Minnesota, and they said it wasn't legal, or that they weren't going to go after that at this time, or something.
I still see them being successful in a couple of states.
Okay.
And if it goes to the Supreme Court could go back and say the state has the right to, if they're convicted of some kind of criminal charge based on that state's constitution, the state has the right to take the name off the ballot if that person has committed felonies and misdemeanors, high felonies.
Well, and that's the thing, though. He hasn't been convicted of anything yet. So I
Right.
think that was actually what kind of was brought up in Minnesota, like it could be brought in again. I don't know. I've never really felt a whole lot of energy around the 14th Amendment, but I've always felt like maybe Trump gets the nomination and then, I don't know, croaks or has a medical emergency or something like that, and they're scrambling to throw a Republican on
But
the
I
ballot.
still feel that there's something that the court is going to look at. I don't know if it's 14th Amendment. It probably is 14th Amendment. But he has to have a conviction first.
Yeah.
I see him convicted very soon. And so, and that's what they're trying to do, is run out the clock until after the election, because then 14th Amendment. But I still see his name off the ballot in 2 states. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, I don't think he'll be on the ballot come November, even if he gets the primary. That's what I'm saying. So
I was hoping they'd gross and primary him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Celtic Tarot Sheila says, what happened to Republicans if Putin dies? They'll still be Republicans.
Hey, Celtic Sheila.
Sorry, Celtic Sheila. That was kind of cocky, but that's what came through.
Well, I think that, I don't think they've gotten a whole lot of money since Russia's economy's crashed. But yeah, I mean, the funding stops. But I almost feel like after Putin goes, as they're kind of shifting things in Russia, I feel like a lot of information coming out about those money channels and a lot of the compromising information that they have on some of those Republicans.
Oh, you know what? When you said that, I got cold chills and my psychic light bulb went, yes.
Yeah.
So good call, Kevin. That was really good. You guys heard it first from Kevin. Okay. All right. Pat K says, how's Kamala doing?
I think Kamala's doing good.
She's fine. I mean, I pulled the 6 of diamonds, which means she's strong and she's not taking a back seat to anybody.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't. I feel like she's busy trying to work on stuff. I'm not picking up anything bad with her. She's got the magician. She's working hard and making things happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Ace of Wands. So she's getting things done.
That's what I think too. I mean, she's just not real public about it, but
Well, aren't they trying to? Aren't Republicans trying to defund her the people around her? I think.
Yes, but they will not succeed.
Right. They want to give Pete Buttigieg a penny for his salary or $1. I don't see that going through either.
It's not going to happen. All right, here we go. Ramona Martinez. Hello, Ramona. Why do you think Judge Manchin decided not to run for re-election? Because behind the scenes, there was some kind of deal cut that he shouldn't, and that if he didn't, there would be legislation put through that he wanted, specifically for coal. That's what I pick up. Entertainment purposes only.
I almost feel like he's being told to run because they want to take votes away from Biden. I don't see it being successful.
And that's another part of it too, but it won't, even if Biden doesn't win West Virginia, it's not going to change the election. What do you think, Kevin?
I agree. I don't see it changing the election either. Linda just texted me.
Oh, what'd she say?
I'm pulling it up.
Oh, I just see it too. Hold on. It's got to be something hysterically funny.
Yeah, about Boebert.
Hold on, I got to see it. I got to share this.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a picture here. It's really cool. Can everybody see it, or is it backwards?
No, you can see it.
Good shot, Linda. I don't know where she gets these, but she's always got hysterical stuff.
What was the question? Is Bober in over her head? I would say so.
Yeah, well. So my new name for Bob is going to be Miss GED.
GD.
All right, good shot, Linda. Okay, Mel, gain your composure. Okay. Dwight, hey Dwight. Boy, he's popular tonight.
Yeah, I've got a couple questions. I just started another one from Dwight.
When Trump finally falls from favor, how fast will the world sit away from his behavior? Well, when we were in Europe, many times people, when Trump was president, asked us what we thought of Trump, and I said, well, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
I said the majority of us can't stand him.
Mm-hmm.
His base will be his base, but once he's gone, it'll be amazing to see, how many people will then disavow themselves. Like in those debates the other night, they weren't responding fondly of Trump. Even DeSantis, as crazy as he is, said some stuff that's anti-Trump. So.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to take a little while. Like, I don't think it's going to just go away. And we're seeing it globally, all of this, extremism too. So, even if it, settles down over here, I mean, it's going on globally right now.
Right.
But I mean, I do see it kind of going by the wayside. You're not having somebody dumping gasoline on the fire as bad. So,
I just wonder what would happen if we could go 2 weeks on the news without talking about Trump.
mm-hmm. Or about, getting everybody all upset and saying that, Biden's unpopular and he's going to lose, but we just had Democrats win in red states.
It
That
was a
shows
blue
you right
wave.
there. Yeah.
I put in my notes here, that's a bellwether of what the elections are going to be like in 2024. That the Democrats will take back over the House and Hakeem Jeffries is going to be Speaker. They'll hold the Senate, so they'll have all houses. And I see Biden being able to put in at least 2 or 3 Supreme Court judges once again with the court. So,
do you feel like after 2024, the Senate's going to get rid of the filibuster so we can actually get some stuff done in the Senate?
I think there'll be a filibuster, but what they're going to do is change the rules of the filibuster.
Like a talking filibuster?
Correct. So that it can't cripple everything.
Yeah. But I see them changing it or getting rid of it. So, because I feel like a lot of really good progress happening after 2024.
Absolutely, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I hear an echo, but I don't know if that's me. Okay, Rebecca Gabaltra. Hi, Becky.
No.
She's coming to Africa with us.
Becky's sweet.
Looking forward to another safari, Becky, with you. Did you all discuss, I think the GOP is producing false polls so they can call a foul on the election that Trump was leading the polls? I think it depends on the poll.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they poll 100 people or 200 people. That's not necessarily an indication of anything.
Yeah.
And, it's fear-mongering. Now, if there was a poll that came out and they, polled thousands and thousands of people and it showed Trump leading, I'd say, okay, there might be some validity to that. Mm-hmm. But you cannot go by the poll numbers this early. There's too much that can happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's, well, and there are definitely Republican polls and they skew the polls for the Republican or Trump. I think the overall problem is that they don't do a very good job at getting to young voters or, the issue with the polling is that women are pissed off because they're being told that they can't, make their own medical decisions. And voters that don't typically vote are coming out in high turnout. So that's why they're kind of skewed too. But there are definitely Republican fake polls. They're definitely skewed.
I agree. I think that women are tired of the government, keeping their eyes and keep the government. Women do not want the government keeping their eyes in their uteruses.
Mm-hmm. And the young people are coming out too for
That's
their
right.
rights and, for gun rights. And I think the thing is between now and the next election, we have the stuff going on with Trump. I feel like big scandals in the Republican Party. That party is imploding. They can't even pick a speaker. Come November 2024, the Republican Party is going to have an awful stench that turns everybody off, besides their regular voters.
You've been saying that all along. The party's
Mm-hmm.
imploding, and here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one here too. Will Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's brother ignore the subpoena? The answer is no.
No, I don't feel it either.
No.
They're not happy about it, and then it's.
Well, how much you want to bet if they did ignore it? Oh my goodness, they would be brought under sanctions and charged,
Mhm.
this and that.
But Jim Jordan can skip out on the subpoena and then almost be voted in as Speaker of the House.
Right. There you
Can
go.
you imagine if Hillary Clinton wouldn't have came into the the House committee for Benghazi? They would have had a field day over it.
Oh my God. Yeah. But it's okay for the Republicans to do, but nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I don't think Jim Jordan's out of the woods yet for not showing up for the subpoena either.
He's got bigger issues, I think, than just that.
You got that right. You hear an echo, or is it me?
I hear a little bit of feedback with the audio, but it's not anything noticeable that I would mess with it right now.
Let me turn my cell phone off. Maybe it's that, or it could be my hearing aids. Okay. Mercury Angel. I'm absolutely amazed that the GOP haven't figured out why they've been losing. Well, I think they're still thinking they can energize that MAGA base, but they just keep trying to overturn what the voters have voted for.
Well, not even just that. Their donors. Oh, I hear an echo now. Their donors want, like the Roe v. Wade overturned, and they agree with it too. So it's not so much that they don't care, but they're just not going to just stand down on that front either. And they're going to lose elections. That's what happens when you have Trump as your leader of your party.
Right. Okay.
Oh, can we talk about Tuberville?
I'm sorry?
Can we talk about Tuberville?
Yeah, where was it? I saw it and I didn't. It was Star.
Tuberville actually believe that holding military promotions is going to work for him. I said it last month. I felt like within the end of October or November, they were going to have figure some way to kind of go around Tuberville and those military holdouts. And I think they're going to maybe change that rules. You're already hearing Republicans going after him, and I think they're going to change that rule. I don't know exactly how he can hold up the military promotions, but he's going to be. They're going to go around him to do it, to get them all passed.
I agree. So, those promotions will go through, and I see Tuberville, or whatever his name is. I see him in some big trouble too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to cost him his reelection too, this stunt.
Absolutely. Okay, Dwight Lindgren. Dwight. How will the warm waters in the Pacific affect the weather in the USA this winter? Well, and also in the Gulf, we're going to have some major, huge hurricanes, tornadoes, some massive storms. So that's how I see it playing out.
You feel like there's some kind of nor'easter up in the North Coast again this year? I've been picking that up for a little while.
When you said it, I heard a yes. And
I feel like it's going to be, with the warm waters and the way it shifts, I get concerns for Texas and their infrastructure. I think it's going to be cold down there and even some snow in the south.
Yeah, I mean, it's been unseasonably warm here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that, states that are traditionally warmer are colder, and states that are colder are more warm, and that's climate change. But
I think it's going to be a cold winter, though. Just give it a little bit of time.
I got a funny feeling Chicago's going to hit harder this year or next year. I can feel it. So, okay, Celtic Seer. Here again, I think we've answered this. When will Hakeem Jeffries become Speaker of the House prior to the election? No, I don't think he will be Speaker of the House prior to the election. I think after the election.
Okay. It's interesting. It's so hard to actually read on the speaker or like all of the Republican parties. It's hard to see clearly through all of the chaos. And, you know, even with McCarthy getting speaker, like it was really hard for me to kind of see it because I think there's so much free will at stake. But
That's right.
when I've read on it, I feel like he very well could be speaker before the next election. I doesn't feel like it's set in stone though.
I don't see that, but we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, he'll be
But
speaker at some point.
but when Jim Jordan was running or wanted to, that's where a lot of the moderate Republicans said absolutely no way because they knew that would be a disaster.
Hmm. Well, so they pick somebody that's just as bad that nobody knows who they are.
Correct.
Um, but
Well,
a
there's
lot of
some
those skeletons in the closet are going to be revealed soon, and I feel like he's going to have a hard time here. He's got a week to pass a budget. I don't know. Do you feel like the budget's going to go through?
if they close down the government, it's suicide for them.
Hmm. But
Um,
they can't. It took them a month to find a speaker because that's how much disarray the Republican Party is,
gonna
and
come
they
right
can't
under
come
the wire.
together to come together to even pass anything right now.
It's gonna come right under the wire, but I see the budget being passed.
Hmm.
Um, you know, here again, um, I still see a lot of stuff coming out against the current Speaker of the House too.
Hmm. Oh, I do too.
Yep, a lot that are going to
I
show
don't
up.
think he'll be in there long. He'll be in
I
there
don't either.
longer than McCarthy was in there.
I don't either. Um, I don't see any more starred comments. So let me go to comments and see. I think we answered them all, didn't we?
No, there's some that's been coming through. I've been doing my best at pulling some. I've
Okay.
usually picked the ones that are in caps just because it's hard to kind of differentiate everything.
I don't see any more, but let me look. Um, do you see any?
Yeah, and there's some coming in.
Um, I just read the starred ones that you send to me. Let's see here. Okay.
I pulled one up. Do you see
Okay.
Kamala will serve a term and a half? I don't know what that means. If you're talking about president, no. I think
Mhm.
it might be a half term, finishing Biden's term.
It could be. But I'll tell you at some point who I see is going to be president is Wes Moore. I keep saying that.
Hmm.
He is the governor of Maryland. And when I first saw Barack Obama, it's when he
Yeah.
was a senator, I said, he's going to be president one day. And at that juncture, wasn't even thinking of running. And I said the same thing when I saw Wes Moore.
Yeah.
And people said, well, is that because he reminded you of Barack? I said, absolutely not. I just had a feeling.
Hmm.
Um, and
I
I was,
can see it too. I think it's a little while out there though.
right.
He's still pretty young. I almost wonder if it's going to be like Gavin Newsom and Glenn Youngkin for 2028.
Uh, okay, so somebody is asking real quick, if Putin dies with the connection he had with the Republican surface, there's going to be somebody that'll come forward in Russia and say that there were deals that were trying to be cut behind closed doors. That'll come out.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
they,
I said that earlier in the show. I felt after Putin's gone, um, some of the stuff they had on some of the Republicans was going to be released.
Sharon Sipe says that she's sending hugs and hi, sending prayers and love and big hugs to everyone. Thank you, Sharon. And she says, happy birthday to everyone this month. And please hit the thumbs up button, both for Kevin. Okay.
Mm.
Uh,
I got this question. Will James Comer respond to Jared Moskowitz? I don't know. I butcher people's names. Subpoena to him. Comer loaned $200K to his brother. I don't think so.
Um, I don't see him responding, but I see
No.
more investigation that's gonna uncover a lot.
Hmm. But if Biden's brother or Hunter Biden didn't show up. We all know that they would be throwing a fit and trying to arrest him and everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Marilyn White, if Republicans are rhinos, would Manchin be a dino? Yep, he would.
Yeah. Oh, can I tell you a hit I got? I just see it with Lisa's question here.
Okay.
I got it when with Andy Bashir. I was a little nervous about his election, but on Tuesday I got that he would win, and he did. But after when he was giving his like winner's speech, I almost feel like after his term for governor, he's going to run for Senate and get a Senate seat for Kentucky.
It's funny. I'm from Kentucky originally. Hi,
Mhm.
Lisa, my girlfriend from Fairdale. How you doing, darling? My accent's coming back. It always does when I talk to Lisa. Brashear has done really, really good stuff for Kentucky.
Mhm.
And I think when the Republicans put up the African American candidate, they probably thought, which amazed me because of a party that has so many racists, right?
Yeah.
But they thought that would probably get a lot of the African American vote, but it blew up in their face. I knew without a question of a doubt that Bashir would win.
Okay.
And we were sitting at the dinner table. And I said to my husband, I said, is he winning? And they hadn't, because Kentucky's a lot of red counties, but they hadn't got all the counties in yet, like from Lexington, Louisville, Jefferson County. And I said, he's going to win.
Yeah.
And my husband said, I just wonder if he'll ever run for president. And my response was, he's good looking enough to win.
Mm. I don't know though. I don't know about president, but I feel like he'll make a run for the Senate and get a Senate seat.
I got a funny feeling he might be offered as a run for vice president at some point.
Okay.
But
I mean, he's still pretty young too, so I mean, he still has a long career.
His father was the governor of Kentucky as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like Andy Bashir. I think he's a really, really good governor, and he's honest.
Wouldn't it be funny if Bashir took McConnell's seat? McConnell's protege is Cameron. He was Attorney General, and he lost. And you were saying too that they were thinking, they would get African American votes, but I don't think the African American community forgot about Breonna Taylor. So
they didn't. They didn't like this guy that was running the Republican ticket.
But I think it would be pretty funny if he was able to take McConnell's seat. I'm not sure when he's up. I don't think McConnell will finish out his term, and I see Bashir in for his whole term.
So do I, but I think Bashir will, fully endorse a Democratic candidate, obviously.
Yeah.
Or Senate. And once McConnell's gone, I see a Democrat in his place for 6 years. And Bashir will throw his support behind that. So
okay,
I think Bashir's going to be instrumental in turning some southern states back to purple.
Okay, I could see that too.
That's what I see. So, okay, he's what the South needs right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he'll never flip, Kay Ivey and all that, Mississippi, but. All right. Who's she, the governor of Alabama or Mississippi? I forget. But at some point, I see Arkansas getting rid of Sarah Huckabee, and I see a Democrat winning there too.
Okay.
Bill Clinton was from Arkansas. So, okay.
Michelle, we already read on Manchin. We did feel like a Democrat's going, or a Republican's going to take a seat. Sorry to say.
I'm sorry. Say again.
We felt like Manchin's seat was going to go red.
I think so.
I do too. Yeah. But there's going to be other pickups. I feel like I actually felt with the Senate, it's a very tight Senate map for 2024. A lot of Democrats defending themselves in red states like Montana and Ohio, and a lot of Democrats up for re-election. But I actually feel like there's going to be a surprise or two flips, like maybe Texas and Florida going down.
See, that's what I think. I talked to some people in Florida today. I had a couple of readings from people down there, and a lot of people they just cannot stand Satan, and they're moving out.
Mhm. They can't stand Scott either, and I think he's the one that's up for re-election. And in 2024, you wait and see. I think abortion is on their ballot, and it's going to get people out to vote.
Absolutely. Okay, here's one. We haven't heard from Aiden. Is he busy with school? He's in school, but he helped set up my StreamYard, and he's the one that puts the thumbnails up. So, thanks, Connie B. I'll talk to him about doing a future collab. Maybe he can come on with Kevin and I. How would that be?
That'd be cool.
All right. That's not like putting you on the spot, huh, Kevin?
I'm totally, go with the flow. I enjoy our shows together, and
So
it's
do
always
I.
fun when we have others come on with us too. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on with Sharon, but here, I'm going to just put this up. It says, Pixie Dust, thank you. Just got home. It's not good news. All he can do is chemo for more time, and he starts on Monday. So I wonder who around her is not feeling well or who has cancer.
Yeah.
Sharon, please let us know in the comments, and we will send healing energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. We got time for just a few more, huh, Kevin? Is that okay?
Yeah, we can do like one or two more.
Okay. No middle name said, I thought about Aiden today. Famous minds think alike. He popped into my head. Maybe that's just everybody telling me that we need to do a collab with him.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. We don't have any more questions, Sarge, you guys. So send us a good question or two.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. All right. I'm scrolling, but I'm not seeing much.
Well, we have like 1,000 people in the chat too. So I was doing my best between readings to start questions.
Oh, here's a good one. Is Melania in a wheelchair? She destroyed her feet by constantly wearing stilettos.
I'm not feeling her in a wheelchair.
I don't see that. I mean, she better be careful. She might fall off one and hurt herself. Stilettos are like that. I don't see how she walks.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we covered a lot tonight, though.
We did. The other thing that I want to talk about, in just briefly in Canada, will Trudeau be able to hold on to the parliament? And I'm hearing yes.
Okay. I felt some changes for Canada. I felt like it's a bit tough. So I don't know if it's from Trudeau or some of the other. I'm not sure how it all works, but I do feel like there is some radicals getting in there.
I'm going to study up on Canadian politics and see what's going on, and maybe we can invite our folks from Canada, and we can answer questions for Canadians as well, and also for Australians.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we've touched on just about everything that I had.
Now we're getting a bunch of questions. So
okay, so let's answer just a couple.
Let's do some rapid fire.
Okay.
Will women's rights be visited in the U.S. Constitution?
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I think we've both read on this before. Is Trump going to lose his properties? Yes.
Yes. By the time they're done with him, he wouldn't be able to pinch a tent in a refugee camp.
Right. Somebody asked about Barron Trump. I'm not really comfortable on reading on children. So.
No, I don't.
Yes, the Flynn brothers. I don't know about soon, but the Flynn brothers are going to face justice. Yeah.
I see within the next year.
Yeah. It's going to take a while. Anya asked how long it will take for the U.S. to regain the world respect after the years of Trump. We're in a better place with Biden, but the uncertainty of where we're going to go in the future makes it hard for them to trust us. So I think it's going to be a little while.
Well, I think once they see the Democrats taking back over and the Republican Party imploding and coming back more to center and becoming more like the old order Republicans, and I see a new political party coming on this scene, like the Progressive Workers Party or something.
Okay.
And people reaching across the aisle, I think that'll help restore faith in this country. I do think that a lot of Europe is seeing us a little bit differently because Biden has strengthened NATO and the European Union.
I think the fear, I agree with that 100%, Mel, but the fear is, are we going to go and reelect somebody crazy like Donald Trump again? How reliable are we? That's where the fear comes in.
I get it. But a lot of people say they're not going to vote because they're mad at Biden. But if you don't vote, that could put some, well, I can't think what I'm saying.
I
That
don't see it
puts
being an
somebody like
issue.
Donald Trump in office, but I don't see
Mhm.
that being an issue. But everybody, please, 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 please vote.
Yep.
Okay.
Like I said, we still have a year before the election, so there's going to be so much that changes. This is interesting. I hadn't heard this. Wiki says 400 earthquakes around Mount St. Helens since July. Will it blow soon? I don't think so.
Well, I see an eruption, but not like where it blew the whole side of the mountain off.
Hmm
It's not going to be like that.
I don't know. I definitely feel there's a lot of volcanic activity going on. I don't know about in the Pacific Northwest, though. Not
Well,
right now.
Sue just said something that the water in the Gulf has never been this warm.
Hmm
So, it's just nature's way of saying that we've got to do something to stop this runaway climate change before it's
hmm
too late.
Well,
Here,
and even in the Pacific Ocean, it's interesting because somebody asked me earlier this year um, about hurricane season, and I picked up that there was going to be a hurricane in Mexico on the Pacific Ocean. I was like, do they get hurricanes on the Pacific? Because I've never heard of that. And there's been a couple over in that area too.
it's rare,
Yeah.
very
And
rare.
there was one that hit California, the one that just hit that Cat 5 that just hit over there.
Hawaii's going to get hit. I don't know if it's
Mm,
this year or next. And the last hurricane that hit Hawaii was Hurricane Iniki in 1993, and it was devastating. It's going to be a big storm, but thank God it won't hit Oahu. It'll veer off and hit one of the outer islands, because if it hits Oahu, that is the center where everything gets shipped into and then gets shipped out to the other islands. So, Hawaii has had its share with the thing in Lahaina and all of that, but
yeah.
see a hurricane there. Um, let's see here. We got time for two more, and that'll be it.
Okay.
Oops. Here. I don't know what I did. Okay. Peekaboo. Will George Santos be found guilty by the Ethics Committee and kicked out of Congress? I see him out of Congress. Yes.
But I don't think it's from the Republicans voting him out.
No, but I still see him under indictment.
Yep.
See him out of Congress. So
I agree. I agree with that part. I don't think that the ethics committee is going to kick him out, though.
okay. Here's one more. Amy Warrior Princess. I know Michigan is blue. It'll stay blue, Amy. The area I live in is very, very red. Everybody has Trump signs everywhere. If you say the name Biden, you get in trouble. Well, they wouldn't cause me to silence my voice. If they have the right to put out Trump signs, you have the right to put out a Biden one.
Yeah. I live in Ohio, so it's much more red than Michigan, but I think it's similar. There's definitely red spots.
Let's see. Clarence Fields, I heard they lost 15 seats. Oh, the Dems I was talking about, yeah. Lisa Foster, this is a good one. When is the fun going to start? It did already, Lisa. Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride.
Well, I don't know in what context you meant, but I think it's been pretty fun since the start of our show. If you're talking about the show, you're talking about the Republican Party imploding. That's already started.
Somebody says, Ramona, real quick, why do you think Trump wasn't in the court when Ivanka testified? His lawyers probably told him not to be. Kevin, how was the lasagna?
Oh, I made lasagna like 2 weeks ago. It was delicious.
Okay. We were trading recipes before the show. Okay, everybody, to contact Kevin, how do they do it? Read below.
You can send me an email at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. And please go over to my channel, Kevin Loving Vibrations, and subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Help me get to 10K before the end of the year. I'd appreciate it.
I think you got a good chance at it, Kevin.
And I think it's going to be right before or right after. I think it's
right after, but you'll still get there.
All right.
And my channel, thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe. And we've talked about all that. This has been a delight.
Always fun, Mel.
It's always fun. Next week I'm on your show,
Mm-hmm.
and Linda Grindle, thanks for the super sticker.
Yeah,
and Voices from the Swamp, and the Celtic and everybody that's watching.
Kevin Lewis, I see him in the chat.
Oh, Kevin's there. Hi, Kevin Lewis. How are you? My goodness. I just love this community. It's really all right. Stay well. Next week, your channel. And everybody, stay well, stay safe. And remember your voices. Don't let anybody rob you of your voice or your spirit or your power. All right. This is about us taking our power back and not letting these small groups control us.
And don't say and watch the news and hear them talking about polling that's a year out.
You know, I just
have results. It's gonna be great come next year.
Before we did our show, I Googled breaking news, and I just saw some stuff I jotted down, and I'm not watching the news anymore. You know, I'm watching cooking shows on YouTube and my favorite psychics.
Yes.
All right, Kevin, next week.
See y'all next week. Take care, everyone.
Good night, everybody.